Hello everyone, this is a Geek Must-Have with a post bag. Got a bunch of goodies here, plus a couple of packages that are so big they won't even fit on the lab bench here. Let's take a look and see what we got. This first package says LED flashlight. Let's see how close it is. Let's open this up. And sure enough, it's an LED flashlight. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 9 LEDs in the front, and takes 3 AAA batteries. Starting to run a little low on batteries. Probably going to have to get some soon. Usually try to get my batteries from Woot when they're on sale. They haven't been on sale very much. Stick these in there. And another one. So they're all tight. I remember this. You may not be able to see this. This is a ultraviolet flashlight. I remember I needed a couple of ultraviolet flashlights to work with the, I got some pigment in little containers that's supposed to glow when you shine ultraviolet light on it, and I realized I had the pigment, but I didn't have the flashlight. And the next package says tweezers, drill bits, cut pliers, metal drill. Got a little heft to it. I think I know what's in this one. And the customs declaration on the outside appears to be correct, although incomplete. Okay, so let's start with these two items right here. These are 3 to 6 volt DC powered submersible pumps. The flow rate on them, according to the ad, says 80 to 120 liters per hour, and it a brushless motor. Not a very large. Let's zoom in on this. Not a very large exit hole there, but it is roughly outside diameter, maybe of about 7 millimeters. So you put a piece of hose on here, and the inlet is here on the side. It says it takes 3 to 6 volts and a brushless motor with a continuous working life of 500 hours. Leave this on for a couple of weeks straight, it will probably be dead. The next item is a bunch of titanium-coated high-speed drill bits. And they vary in size all the way from 1 millimeter all the way up to 3 millimeters. I didn't have any real tiny drills. So they're in 4 separate packages. So all the way, we got the real small ones, which are 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, and 3. The next item is a set of Countersink bore drills, and they vary in size from 12 to 19 millimeters. And I realized that I didn't have any counterbore drills to be able to drill a hole and then drill this counterbore into it so I can sink the screw into the wood or into the metal. And recently I purchased a set of these, which have the drill. I'll zoom in on these for you. That have the drill and the bore bit integrated, and a little Allen head screw on the side so that you can do it all in one action. I got these after I ordered these. These have the standard corner-inch shank on them, so you can stick them into a standard little handy drill like this one here. And then use it to countersink the hole. The other ones that I got require they're a round shaft, so they require like a drill with a chuck on it that you can tighten down. The next item is a 3/8 drill that's used with the Kreg pocket hole jig, where you drill pocket holes in the side of a piece of wood like this here. It has a, I'll zoom in on this for you. It has a kind of a narrower tip to get started, then a wider tip, and this is for the 3/8 hard tool set. And when it's done drilling, the nice thing, I don't know if you can see this, the side of the drill where it gets larger is flat. This is what one of the screws looks like. So it's to allow the screw to go all the way inside of the wood. I think this is the drill that's a size bigger than these particular Kreg screws. This drill is used for the next size up of what these screws are. I have a smaller one as well. One of the things I like about this is also has a 1/4 inch hexagon shaft on the end of it, so that, like before, snaps into this. But they do recommend that you use this with a high-speed drill when you're drilling that Kreg hole, or when you're drilling a hole into the wood for the Kreg screw. Comes with a little collar lock and a Allen head wrench. The next item is a set of hole saw drill bits, and these supposedly have a diamond edge on them, so you can go through ceramic or glass, or my intent is to make wood plugs for a side of a wood project that I'm working on. I'm trying to get a little more used to working with wood. I've been working with plastic and metal for most of my life, and I've stayed away from wood, but I've seen some channels that I really like, some YouTube channels that I've seen that I really like what the folks are doing, and I'm going, yep, I should be able to do some of those things, but I need to have some basics. So I'm going to zoom into this, and being able to cut a hole to make a wood plug of various sizes. These come from 5 millimeter all the way up to about 12 millimeter. The next item is a set of tweezers. I've had a couple of sets of tweezers. They get lost. One ends up in my toolbox that I carry around with me, and I tend to not want to take them out of there, because when I do, then when I'm on the road or doing something not in the shop, and I need the tweezers, they're ultimately never in the box where they belong. So I got a set of tweezers. Zoom in on these. Nothing much to speak of, just a regular set of tweezers there. And then a set of pinpoint tweezers. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. Set of the pinpoint tweezers. And a set of curved tweezers. So these little ends that they give you, these protective caps, so that you can stick the tweezers in there and, you know, you won't poke yourself with them. These are the first thing to find their way into the alternate dimension, where most of the little screw and nut packages I get for kits that I have disappear into, along with all my left frickin' socks. And the next item is a set of diagonal side flush cutters. They say they're nippers, but I don't think these are industrial enough to be nipping anything with. But they do look like fairly decent set of side nippers. They close all the way closed. Can't see through them. So I have a red pair of these that were in the lab for some time, and they have found another place to exist. It's in that alternate dimension along with my left socks. It's what happens when you have grandchildren. And a bonus item that I didn't order. Looks like one of your standard wireless mice in a funky, red color. It's the one that's got a couple buttons on the side here. It's got the regular mouse buttons. Got the standard wheel. Lightweight, but the little wireless dongle that's supposed to go in there for you to be able to connect this up to things doesn't appear to be in there. Maybe it's in the battery compartment. Hope springs eternal. And there it is. So there's a little wireless dongle. Goes in there to store it, and a couple of AA batteries. So I'd like to thank the AliExpress vendor, Gold Seller Market Store, for the bonus gift. The next item has the customs label covered up on it, but it's a bulky, soft type of package. Okay, first one of these items are these little spray can adapters. And when you're spraying something that's a little difficult to spray, and you have to be accurate with your spraying, and you have to spray a lot, fatigue sets in, the nozzle clogs up or whatever, this is to allow you to stick the spray can into here, and then this presses the button on the top of it so that you can use this to do spraying with. I have a lot of flat black spraying that I need to do, and my finger actually does get tired holding that little button down for like on and off for a couple of minutes. And the next item are some of these COB LED lights. They're known as daytime running lights. Alright, and they're about 17 centimeters long. They're waterproof, which is nice. They're good for putting in projects that you might want to power for things outside. They list the list on these says that they're for using in cars. And they come with a piece of foam-backed double-side tape. And they're supposed to run on 12 volts. I wonder how bright they are. Well, let's find out. So I have my Dr. Meter power supply. Of course, these wires are so frickin' tiny. Who makes wires that small? The Chinese do. They're the ones that came with the unit. And considering the unit wasn't that expensive, I guess I can't expect that much out of them. Oh, nice. Got a kind of a bluish tinge to them. And they're bright. Jesus, they're bright. They're also waterproof, which is pretty good. These would be great for outside lights for a patio or something like that, or a table. I don't know how waterproof these are. Let me show you what just happened. I just tugged on this one a little bit and it came out, and there are the wires for it. I guess the LEDs, they're in silicone. So they're in silicone. I don't know if there'd be any problem with moisture across this. The next item says it is a CCTV camera, and I've been looking forward to this one. I bought this one during the AliExpress anniversary sale they have, and I got it from the AliExpress vendor as ELP official store. And it's a USB camera module, megapixel. Yeah, megapixel. The recording model, or the recording mode on this, is the H.264, and it uses the Sony IMX 332, or excuse me, the 322 sensor in it, and it's a 5 to 50 millimeter varifocal lens, and it's actually a USB cam, like a webcam, just like one of the Logitechs you may have. Only this particular one is supposed to have better resolution. Now, unlike a webcam, which typically has a microphone on it, I only needed one that I could zoom in on the side and add another level of viewing when I'm building projects. Because right now the only thing you see is from the top down from my camera rig that I have assembled on my desk. It's tough to see from the side how I'm doing things, so I was planning on using this camera on the side to be able to view what I'm doing at the same time. So as I'm recording the video, or as I'm recording the screen, I can also record another camera if necessary. And this can also be the second camera when I have the top camera going on and the side camera going on. So I'm going to zoom into this one. In, not out. And as you can see, it's one of the ELP cameras. And it goes from 5 to 50 millimeters. So it's like a telephoto where you can zoom this in and out. Boy, it's tight. That is tight. And there's an open and close to let in more or less light. And then there's the focus ring here, and it's tight as well. This is very nicely assembled. The sensor on this, as I mentioned, is a Sony, and it's a 2 megapixel, which you may not think is much for a camera, but it actually is. And this will go all the way to 1920 by 1080p in the H.264 format. So it'll do 30 frames a second at that. And I imagine you can set it down to a lower resolution and get a higher frame rate, but 30 frames per second is probably enough for a do-it-yourself project. It comes with a very long cable, And it's not a flimsy cable either. Yeah, pretty heavy duty cable. Has a funky plug on the end to plug into the camera. So I'm going to hook this up, hopefully correctly. The plug on it is keyed with a little end on it, but it doesn't look like it's very much of a key. That doesn't screw down. That just snaps into place. So, lens cap off. See, it has a really nice sized lens on there. It's about a 30 millimeter lens. Most webcams that you have. I'm going to go get my standby cam here, which is a Logitech 920. See the lens on there? See how tiny that is? Take a look at that and compare that to this lens. So, I should be able to plug it in and it should be recognized as a camera. What do you think the chances of that are? Let's plug it in. Ah, it beeped. Setting up device, H264 USB camera. Now I need a piece of webcam software. While this camera is a manual focus and manual zoom, it still should be a fairly good camera. I'm going to use the Windows Camera application to use it for the first time. And I'm going to start recording in a side window here, and I will insert it inside of the video. So here I am. I'm filming the Geek Must Have. Let's zoom all the way back out. Alright. And you can focus here, as you can see. And you can adjust the amount of light coming in. So you can go to nothing and adjust it till you get the right amount of balance. And it does appear as though the sensor's having a little problem adjusting to light. I'll have to check that out. Well, now I'm going to try and hold this in my hand and zoom in on this. And when you zoom all the way in, the minute you start to zoom, the focus is going to go out. So there you are there. So that's zoomed all the way in at the 50 millimeter. And so there's one of those submersible pumps. And then I should be able to zoom back and refocus. Yeah, these adjustment knobs for the focus and the zoom are starting to loosen up a little bit. They were really tight when I first opened it up, but they seem to be working nicely now. That's what it looks like. Some of the goodies on the desk. So I'm looking forward to using this as an auxiliary camera for doing some future videos. So this is the haul for today's post bag, including excuse me, some spray can containers, a nice little USB camera, a couple of submersive pumps, some LED waterproof strips, some titanium drill bits, a Kreg hole pocket hole drill, some ceramic, some diamond, supposedly diamond encrusted drills, a power supply, and ultraviolet light, and a bonus mouse that I got for nothing. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please click on the thumbs up button. If you'd like me to review something in this pile in more detail, just leave me a comment in the comments below, and consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate it. Have a good one.